Just have to take a quick minute to thank our sponsors, Yellow Dog Paddle, Mackin's Rippin Lips Fishing Trips, NJFishing.com, and 8 Ball Sport Fishing. Also have to thank our supporters, Mike K's Guide Service, Psycho Jigs, Lip Glue, FC Fish Company, Nor'easter Hardcore Apparel, Hoggy Time Jigs, The Mimi Sick, and The Gambler.
President of the RVTA, he said, "Oh, but there's one exception. Ray has to fish with Joe Santiago. He won't fish with anyone else. So we're not going to try to get him. He has to fish with Joe Santiago. That's all. That's the only person he'll fish with." And I said, I laughed, and he laughed too, but he's like, "No, but I'm serious." And I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, I try to avoid fishing with Joe as much as possible. This guy, but I mean that's pretty cool, right?
I mean, yeah, and I'm kind of like a mushy person when it comes to that kind of stuff. I get emotional easily, but I had heard that last year too, because last year Ray had shown up he had just had surgery on his leg. And they had made a suggestion that maybe we could move him to a pontoon boat, because my boat's just a 16-foot deep V. It's not a giant boat. There's guys there with giant boats, pontoon boats. And they told Ray, we're going to move you to a boat a little more comfortable and easier to get on. He said, nope, I going with him or I ain't going. And I was holy shit. He really remembers me from last year, and then this year he did it again. I'm going with him or I ain't going. Ray, if you're watching this, you could fish with me not in that tournament. Like, we could go anytime you want. Just reach out to me. I know you don't have a cell phone, but you could email us.
There's a better chance that someone that knows Ray might be watching this and can make. I know he likes to hang out at Crying's. Anyone that
he loves Crying. I mean, that's all he talks about is that place, especially the trivia night. Loves that.
All right, so then maybe you should show up at the trivia night at Crying's. I mean, Katie and I will go with you if you really want.
Tell him we can fish anytime he wants. We'll talk about all our other fishing later because I don't want to make Chuck just sit there. We're going to talk to Chuck Manny right away, who on the last episode of the podcast, I declared in public, literally, the greatest fisherman of all time, the GOAT, especially after what I witnessed. Chuck, we're going to talk about the 18 fish, the 18 species record.
Without giving them away.
We can't give them away.
I did.
But I saw you perform 3 miracles. You literally performed 3 miracles to make happen what happened. What fish are in the cover? What fish are in the giveaway picture that I can mention? The Sheepshead is there, right?
Yes.
The Sheepshead is there.
All right, so the Sheepshead,
which was a miracle.
That's the only miracle.
No, it ain't.
It's a miracle to you maybe, but the Sheepshead was 100%. I've never that's a fucking unicorn.
I'm going to say this.
I've fished in New Jersey on the Jersey Shore for 55 years. 55 years. Let's be realistic. 55 years, and that's the 3rd one I've caught. Now I don't target them a lot because I don't even target Todd that much, but like that, I mean, that pretty much is a unicorn. The funny thing is, though, it was the week before that all of a sudden a few of them showed up in the mouth of the Hudson, Raritan Bay, the Shrewsbury River, right? So they're all of a sudden, I really did feel like we had a chance. Like we did fish for them. It wasn't like we weren't fishing for them. We actually earlier in the morning did fish for them.
We did give it a little bit of time of like specifically targeting them in like the traditional way, but we kind of gave up on that pretty quick because it wasn't worth the time of trying to get as many species as possible, right? And when you caught it, I mean, like you said, we weren't not fishing for it. We were trying to catch as many species as possible. And one of the better techniques to do that is to use a bait that can catch anything and nothing in particularly, right? So, but to catch it in that fashion, I mean, that was probably one of the most unexpected things that I've ever seen fishing, honestly. I don't know.
It's unexpected because it was the day too that made it so cool.
Without giving anything away, all I'll say is when I was editing the video, which I'm going to say is the hardest video I've ever made in my life. It's done. I have to post and write the description, so tomorrow or the next day it's going to be out.
No.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I can't.
Contest to people to guess the species. You can't put the video out yet.
That's a good point. So now I have extra time. But in the video, me and Jen catch 27 of one fish over and over. And during that 27 fish, the same species 27 times, Chuck pulls 2 different species out. And just those 2. You can't tell me it wasn't miracle-ish. It was miracle-ish.
It wasn't, but like it wasn't miracle-ish. It's the same. Like if you want to catch more than one species, this isn't even our species day. This is about every. I'll go back. So 2 comments. One, I told both you and Jen that if you wanted to catch something else, do this. And both of you were in love with the first species that you caught 27 of. So you kept doing the wrong thing, even though the goal of the day was to catch other species. So that's one. For like an hour, we did, and well, I don't even. We gave it a long time.
Will you admit? Will you admit live on camera that the last time we did this, you redid a sea bass drift because you had so much fun jigging the sea bass?
Oh yes, that's true. That is true.
All right, it's now on YouTube for eternity.
But I'll give you another example. So a few days ago, I got a call and got invited fishing somewhere, and they were fishing artificials, and they said, "Oh, and we caught this species." Right? Once again, I was looking, and on all of a sudden I said, "Oh, you caught that species?" You're like, "Yeah, we caught one." But they didn't want to catch another one of those. I did. So then I targeted that species, and boom, I caught 6 of them in an hour.
What species?
Bullhead catfish. So, but once you try to catch them, and that's one of the problems with people either doing like all bait or all artificials or all whatever they're into, is they limit themselves to what species they will catch. So by throwing the artificial all day, you're going to sit there and you're going to clobber the crappie and the largemouth and everything else, but you're missing out on a whole bunch of cool stuff. And that's okay if that's what you want to do. But
Alex Omnibar wants to know what the Sheepshead ate.
Sandworm, which my partner right here, my buddy in crime, told me I didn't even need to bring, which, by the way, probably caught at least 2/3 of the fish that were caught all day.
But most of those fish were also caught on something else. That was my only point.
You can't tell me we didn't catch more. If you put a sandworm out there and any other bait we had, that sandworm is going to get hit more by multiple species, by anything, God knows what, than anything else. Sure, if you put a crab out there versus a sandworm, are you going to catch more blackfish? 100%. But if you put the sandworm and the crab out there, the sandworm is going to catch a fluke, a spot, a croaker, weakfish. I'm not giving away any names, obviously, because I just went through some that are not on the list. Right? So that you're going to catch all those other things. That's the difference between those two things. So like if I'm out there and I'm going blackfishing, yeah, I'm getting a crab. But if I'm going out there to multi-species fish, I'm bringing a flat of sandworms, guaranteed. And I think that, I know you don't believe it, but I think that was somewhat proven. We don't
not believe it,
but it's
okay. I was half joking when I said it, and they bite and they're very slippery and they're annoying. But
You can't be scared of a sandworm.
I'm not scared.
You're bigger than the sandworm.
I have to take a quick second to shout out Yellow Dog Paddle. Mike Herman is still booking trips for the Delaware River if you want to jig fall walleye with Mike Herman. Also trolling Round Valley and teaching people to fish Round Valley. So check out Yellow Dog Paddle.
And
I have to ask
you about Mike Herman. He was next to us at Spruce Run, just absolutely hammering it. If you want to go somewhere and catch a bunch of fish, that's the guy to go with. So
he's good at that. You're better at this than Chris. You should just slide right over
next to the chuckster.
Actually, I didn't. I mean, that was.
Alex says he catches them in Florida on shrimp. I have to ask both of you. Do you know who Todd is? Luke McNicholas just said, "I need to striper fish with Todd. His bucket list goal. Please hit me up. Dying to catch stripers with you." Don't know who Todd is. Are you Todd?
Me?
I mean,
no,
is anyone Todd here?
I think the guy is saying his buddy Todd really wants to catch the stripers in the two of them.
Oh, he just corrected himself and wrote Chuck, not Todd. Chuck, you're his bucket list fish, wants to catch stripers with you.
I guess he has to come maybe to the Christmas party.
He's got to come to the Christmas party. There you go.
I don't know.
December 6th Christmas party. Is that a hint the Tie Man may be giving a trip away at the Christmas party?
It could be a possibility. Just to
okay. He said he wasn't going to do that anymore, and there could be.
The
lava lamp is on. I made sure that it was on. Mike McMahon. I made sure the lava lamp was on. Chuck, I have to ask you, you're known for stripers. You actually don't even fish striper tournaments anymore because it's too embarrassing for you to win them. What gave you the idea to do this challenge? Because I've seen it. I know from an outside perspective, it looks simple. If I didn't know you and I saw this on the internet, I would say, wow, I could probably do that. But actually seeing it in person, it's nearly impossible. Just the preparation work alone is unrealistic. So I do dare anyone that wants to take on the challenge could email us at njmultispecies at gmail at any time. It's an open challenge to anyone to do this, and you will have fun doing it. But what?
She's challenged.
Yeah.
What gave you the idea?
I've done it a few times, right? I mean, I think actually it's funny, like, Alex Catyon. So Alex loves just to catch fish. He doesn't, he'll go with me for 50-pound stripers, but if we run into a bunch of bluefish or sea bass, he's going to want to stay there for 2 hours, right? Which we're not doing. But so he was the one that always was like, oh, can we go multi-species? And I took his daughter, his family, right? Because they loved it. So I'm like, oh yeah, we'll do that. So when I got you guys on the boat, I'm like, well, let's see how many we could actually catch, right? Because that's what you guys do. And the cool thing about the multi-species thing is, like, when I go on the Tie Man in the ocean in the boat, for everybody else here, since you have so many freshwater fishermen that are a part of your little organization, they fish a lake, right?
It's a cult.
And when you're fishing on the Tie Man in a multi-species thing, it's like we're fishing 15 different lakes on the same day, right? So we go back into the Navasink, which is one environment, right? You could equate that to like a pond fishing, right? Then you go out into the Shrewsbury River, you could relate that to the Delaware. Then you go out into the ocean, you can relate that to Hopatcong or Round Valley or Spruce Run, right? So you're actually going to different environments. And the funny thing is, even though that's all connected, those fish live in those individual environments, and you need to learn each one of those environments to catch those specific fish. So people will put down an oyster cracker as oh, that's a trash fish. Well, go try to catch an oyster cracker, right? Like, you sit there and you go down, and you put down, you're going to catch a tog way before you catch the oyster cracker. So you're going to sit there if you remember what we did, we're slammed against a piling of a bridge, right? We are stuck there. The Tie Man's stuck in the current against it. And if you drop straight down on the side, you're catching a tog. But if you reach over the rail and you're fishing over the rail onto the cement piling, right, which is beyond the boards, that's where you catch the oyster cracker. Much more difficult. but somebody would say that's a trash fish. Well, you actually have to learn how to catch that oyster cracker when you're not catching it just as bycatch, which is cool.
And I can testify it's much harder. When you're going for it, it's much harder.
And I just want to add, though, that the Sandworms did not catch a single tog on this day.
That's funny. I caught 6 the other day.
But on the day that the 18 species record was made, the Sandworms did not catch a tog.
Scotty Sevens was fascinated by the Sheepshead, wanted to know everything about it. And the video, as a whole is amazing, but the Sheepshead segment itself is unbelievable.
By the way, I just want to comment on Chris's comment. On top of his comment,
I have to do some of these comments too, because
the day before, when we were I was trying to figure out where we were just going to get certain bait, right? Which is also a species. When we were trying to get that bait, I did catch the tog on the sandworm.
Is it true, Chris? I have questions for him. He's got to answer. He's got to catch up.
Caught on sandworm. I'm just saying that day you needed me to put a crab on a jig to fulfill that species.
There you go. There it is. And I do always see crabs on the Time Man now. They are there usually.
For only one person.
Catch up online real quick. Wayne Bishko says, Chuck, Time, and Manny, the GOAT. John Britt says, that's how I got to fish with Chuck. Went to the Christmas party.
And John Britt was a great guy. See, and I met somebody that was an awesome dude. That was good.
And he didn't win that trip. He just was friendly, became friends. We all became friends, and we all went fishing.
Yeah, actually, so we sat there, and he came up to me and asked me about going. Like, hey, how do you get on the boat? And I said, well, when do you want to go? And then he followed up and said, hey, how about this date? And I said, that sounds good. And we picked a couple dates.
Can I just tell the whole story real quick? Because
you can't because we're flooded here.
No, because now we know John. So this story is hilarious.
All right.
So Chuck calls me and says, hey, you want to come fishing on whatever day, John Britt's coming, with his buddy and his kid. And I said, yeah, I'll fit. And he kept saying the name John Britt. And then I finally just stopped him and I said, am I supposed to know who that is? I'm not sure who that is. Am I supposed to know who that is? And Chuck goes, isn't that your buddy? I met him at the Christmas party. I'm like, Chuck, like anyone could come to that. Like, I don't know him.
I figured you two knew everybody at the Christmas party.
No. So it was pretty funny. Obviously went fishing. It was a great time. Like John's listening right now, and he knows we'll go fishing with him anytime. We went on another trip. We went on 8 Ball. He came with us on 8 Ball.
Yeah, great dude.
Yeah,
his buddy was a great dude. It was a good day.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Day. Fishing.
A few quick questions for Chuck. Wayne Bishko wants to know: have you ever caught a marlin?
Yes, I have caught a number of marlin. Both
on the Time Man.
On the Time Man, no. On the Time Man,
not on the Time Man. Still counts though. He caught one. Mike McMahon. Chuck, what was the weak fishing like back in the day on the Raritan?
Oh my God, the weak fishing. I mean, that was what you did in the late summer, early fall. You go back into Raritan Reach or Chapel Hill Channel, and literally you would drop sandworms down and absolutely annihilate. And they were nice weak fish. They were nice. When I was a kid, we used to go out on, there was a boat called the Mistake 2, very famous boat. And that's one of the first party boats my dad used to drop me off on. And we used to catch like big tide runner weak fish, like 7 to 12 pound weak fish. We'd jig them on diamond jigs back in the day.
Oh, no, sandworm?
No, not sandworms. And then when we sandwormed them, that was back when, but you would catch, if you caught, it wasn't weird to catch 50, 75 a day. That was pretty normal.
Wow.
Weak fish. That's how good it was. And every charter guy was there. It was like looked like striper fishing in Raritan Bay in the spring. That's what it looked like.
You think the anglers kind of wiped them out, or is it just I
think it's just cyclical or something.
Huh.
So you don't see a good possibility of that fishery ever returning?
No, I don't know. I think history, maybe it does. They seem to pop up someplace like Jamaica Bay. Like if you look, Karen Ann Charters, if you ever look them up, Jamaica Bay ain't very far from us, right? They clap.
Oh God, I can't look at this thing anymore.
I can tell you I can tell you a couple of years, like
I love watching Joe's eyes.
Yeah,
I can't look at it. Matt Loisel is killing me, and he's texting my phone and chat.
I'll just say a couple words. Okay.
Matty Loisel is texting me on my phone and commenting in the thing. So I either direction's Matt Loisel. I can't get away from it.
All right,
and he's asking salmon questions.
Love it.
Oh my God! Listen, I just want to say, I want to say 3 years ago, maybe. We were fluke fishing in one of the smaller rivers. I won't name it just because people get butthurt, but we're fluke fishing and a pretty good school of weakfish came through, nice sized ones. And it was a one-off, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't really look into it and go back the next year and look for them or anything like that. But I think like Chuck said, if it's cyclical, then I mean, there's a really good fight for weakfish going on right now in one of the main rivers that go into Raritan Bay, but only a few people are fishing it, and I don't want to run back there just to try to catch a weakfish. Otherwise, I would have tried that the other day, and I wouldn't have been know exactly where to go, right? But I know it's going on where they're catching, and those are nice weakfish from 15 to 23-inch kind of weakfish. Wow, and that's part of the tactic of the whole multi-species thing too. Is the planning of, like Chuck just said, he knew where we could probably get a weakfish, right? But was it worth, is it worth the time to go all the way there? Or we could go over here to a different spot that's closer and catch 3 species and then move on to another spot.
Yeah, and you're picking spots that might not be the best spot for that species, but you got a shot, and then you're close to another spot where you could get a different species. So you gotta. It is very time based on the tide and everything else of which spot you're hitting when. Some of them, for some like striped bass, you got to know where to go at what time and be there on that tide. Or in the middle of the summer, it's hard to catch them if you're not on that tide. And
I know some people see this stuff and think it's dumb. They think, oh, wow, you caught 18 species. One of them was a skate, one of them was a dogfish, one of them was whatever. Fish that, I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying they were caught that day. But, fish that people, oyster cracker, fish that people think are trash fish. So they look at it and they're like, oh, this is dumb. Which, whatever, you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Saltwater fishermen, and anyone can get offended by this if they want. A lot of saltwater fishermen are robots. They're robots. They're slaves to the regulations throughout the season. Oh, the government is going to let us keep some fluke for a month and a half. It's fluke time. I'm only going to fish for fluke because I can eat them. That's how they operate. Right?
Yeah, I agree. Well, that's one thing. If a lot of people may not know about the tie man, I would say 95% of the fish caught get released. Rarely do I see anyone ever keep anything on the tie man. And the tie man himself doesn't keep anything.
Because I want to fish as long as possible. It makes no sense to have to go back to the dock and clean anything.
And have to clean stuff. I don't want to clean it either. You could fish as long as Rob Gatos. Shout out to Rob. He said sandworms on floating jig heads for weakfish. Yes. Rob's the man.
Hold on.
I had to ask Chuck something
about Chuck. That's not the only reason he doesn't keep fish.
Oh boy.
Chuck doesn't eat fish.
I really don't. I don't. I do occasionally. Occasionally.
You told me
he's never invited us night fishing either. Does he night fish?
Me and my wife go out every single night, so I do get it at a restaurant. And neither one of us are cooking anything. We're certainly not cooking fish because we're going to screw that up.
That's why he doesn't keep the fish.
Do you?
I mean, I hate them flopping around in the box. I feel terrible. I don't even like that unless it's bait. Then it's okay. Unless it's a bluefish that we're going to butterfly for a friggin' the hammerhead. You would have loved the hammerhead, Joe, yesterday. Oh, boy. Watched the fin come up, cast it to it, ate a bluefish, lost it. It disappeared for a minute. There it came back. We chucked it a live eel, ate the live eel, hooked up, had it on for 10 minutes, got it to about 20 feet from the boat, and then lost it. You would have, oh my God, you would have died.
I would have, been in my glory. I do have some weird obsession with sharks. I want to ask you, because we know people are going to bring it up when the video comes out, because it's unavoidable. there is a miscounting error in the video. So somehow
Not my fault.
I don't know whose fault it is. After watching the video, I'm even more confused. I can't figure it out even more. After everyone sees the video, I don't know where it goes wrong. It goes wrong.
Do you want me to tell you where it went wrong?
Is this
is it the skate? Is it the skate?
No, I don't. I still don't think it was. So as you guys were catching the different species, I was writing them down in my little note thing on my phone, so we would have it, right? So I'm writing them down in order as we get to it, but I'm matching them up with the pictures I have. Well, we catch the sheepshead, and obviously that's a unique fish, and I don't really care about many pictures of me because, one, I'm not photogenic. Two, I don't really catch that many fish. People on my boat do, but I don't really even fish that much. So the multi-species day is one of the few days I actually even put a rod in the water, right? So, but then all of a sudden I asked for the picture of the sheepshead, and Mr. Funny laughing over here sends me a picture of it all fuzzed out because when he took the picture, he was soaking wet because his clothes did not were not waterproof. Okay, and it was pouring rain.
Pouring.
So he was playing a little joke and being funny on the time, man. So then when we went through the pictures and I was matching them up, I did not have the sheepshead, one, in the right order, or two, even in the count until I went back. And now I'm very anal. So the next day I'm writing my log. Every day I write a log of what I caught. So you can go back. If I went bluegill fishing yesterday, it will be in my log. So there it is. I'm writing my log, and all of a sudden I get to the sheepshead and I go through the pictures and it's not in order. Not in order. Chuck doesn't like not in order. So anal Chuck goes, oh shit. And I put it back in, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap. I start counting and I'm like, that's 18. We're wrong. That's when I texted you guys and said, no, that's definitely the reason why I thought it was wrong, and definitely why I was using the wrong number when we were
on. I got gypped because I actually caught the record-breaking fish. And in the video, it's Jen who gets to celebrate with the record breaker, but that's the record patter. I broke it.
So you broke the record with a Bregal.
Oh, no.
You can't say that. That's why I didn't...
If someone's still listening to this and wants a free hat, I'll fucking give it to them. I mean, for Christ's sake, are you serious? This is where you
There's no way everybody they ain't getting all 18 anyway. There's no.
That's one.
If somebody gets all 18, they're coming fishing with me.
Well, no, you have the picture out there now, and now another clue, the Bregal. Well,
there's been a bunch of clues on this
Wow. All right. So
episode 119 of the Multi-Species podcast.
He knows the number better than us.
Joe, can I ask you? Please tell me there is some video of Chuck panicking, thinking that the only picture of his sheepshead is that blurry ass one I sent.
You know, that I don't have video of that. I have video of everything but that. He was panicked though. I know he's on like talking a big game, like, oh, that's my fourth one.
Oh, Chris in the water.
Let me tell you something. This, like, Chuck, man, you catch a lot of fish, like a lot of fish, a lot of nice fish. That was his PB sheepshead. That was his PB sheep. I've never seen him.
What is PB?
Your best.
I get it.
Personal best.
So ridiculous.
PR, personal record.
So ridiculous.
So this was the biggest sheepshead he's ever caught. It was on the time end. Wasn't even on another boat. Like, you know, we'll fish with me and Chuck. Are gonna fish with Scotty Sevens eventually. Maybe he'll beat it. But this was on his boat. Like, that wouldn't even matter. Like.
Oh, it doesn't count if it's not on the time. It doesn't even matter. Not that I don't want to go.
I don't think I've ever seen him this excited for a fish. And
me neither.
When he asked for the picture and I realized I was the only one who actually took a picture, I blurred it in the photo editing and sent it. So, dude, I told you my phone was wet. Like,
so mean.
Why didn't you get someone else to take the picture? And I'm sitting there saying, I'm trying to fix it.
The whole day out for you. We're catching all these species. We're having a great day, and then you do that to me.
It was fun.
What a person are you?
Chuck was nervous. Dan Baez Jr. wants to know if you've seen any cobia around the bay, Chuck.
Brutal. No, this was not a good year. You know, the cobia have been really coming on the last 5 years. And then this year they showed up And I'm going to blame it on one thing. They love those big bunker schools, and there wasn't a lot of bunker schools around. And for some reason, that cobia thing was pretty short-lived this year. So no, unfortunately, I would love to target them right now.
To get off the saltwater subject for a minute, because the Multi-Species Mayhem Contest is going on still. You are in a commanding lead for first place.
What's the score?
Wait.
What's the score?
I'm not. I don't know the exact score, but he's in a commanding lead.
You called it a commanding lead. You don't even know how much he's in the lead.
Well, I have last week's. Kevin hasn't posted an updated one, but he's in.
It's worse now. So
yeah, it's worse. A commanding lead. I guess.
I upgraded.
What I'm saying is, for anyone who ever thought that you were just a saltwater fisherman, and now you're completely dominating this freshwater thing. What do you want to say to all the people that thought you only fished saltwater?
I mean, I think it goes back to the comment about, like, when I was talking about you guys us fishing for, like, in different environments, or somebody telling me, hey, I caught one of these on an artificial, and then trying to target that fish with the best way to catch that fish. So the awesome thing about this tournament is that there's 26 species, right? And you can target each one. And somebody be like, oh, well, I would never target a rock bass. Well, why would you target a largemouth? The blue marlin guy thinks you're ridiculous for targeting a largemouth. So you're just as crazy if you're the largemouth guy and you think somebody targeting a rock bass is crazy. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So
that is a really good
point. The whole
point.
thing is, if you look at the list for rock bass, for example, I will bet that those people were fishing Round Valley or somewhere else, and they were bass fishing during the rock bass spawn, and they happened to throw their bait on a rock bass nest, and caught the biggest rock bass. I'll guarantee it. I would put money on it. But for example, me, I'm out there during that rock bass spawn, actually targeting them just like a largemouth guy does on a largemouth bed, doing the same exact thing on the rock bass. And I caught a bunch. I caught one that's the same size as third place, but I was after, so I'm in fourth, whatever. But I've caught 70 rock bass, and and then once that spawn is over, it's very hard to target them for those big fish, just like it's hard to target maybe a largemouth. Now you have to cover a ton of water to try to pick off one fish, right? Yeah. It's a totally different game. So, and that's the great thing about it, like, you have to figure out how to fish for different species. Same thing, the bullhead story. You're catching this. Well, I'm going to change the tactic to this because I know that they're in there because he randomly caught it on an artificial. Now you throw the right bait and boom, you'll catch it. You'll catch a whole bunch of them. White perch, same thing. People are like, oh, there ain't that many white perch around. There's one lake that is absolutely infested with white perch, but everybody throws artificials for another species. They catch those species and they never catch a white perch. If you put a smaller bait down on the bottom below those bigger fish that everyone's targeting, you will catch 20 white perch every time you go out. But
I'm sorry to cut you off. I have to do a commercial. It's been too long. Speaking of white perch, Eddie Mackin, Lake Apacon, the white
another
perch.
Guy I was with, awesome dude, fun fishing, ridiculous. Had so many laughs with him. Great guy, great fisherman. I actually learned some stuff, and even on the tie man, used a couple of little things he was doing that day.
Wow.
There's a living testament from Chuck, Time, and Manny on Eddie Mackin's fish. Rippin. Oh, I did it. I blew it. My streak is ruined.
Let Chuck do it.
Sorry, it was my fault.
Let Chuck do it.
No, my fault.
Eddie Mackin's Rippin' Lips fishing trips, pontoon boat rentals still available. Fall season coming up. Hybrid striped bass and white perch. Call Eddie Mackin for Lake Apacon today. Chris, do you have a question for Chuck? Does anyone on Facebook Live have a question for Chuck?
Did you run out of questions?
Nah, but you told me to only go through the really good stuff. Chris said that was a very good example. Makes everything relevant.
Yeah,
Chuck, I wanted to ask you. We asked Justin Lerner this question, and I don't remember.
Well,
listen, there's only a certain amount of dead air. Dead air. I'll only let dead air go so far, and then I have to keep it going. We asked Justin Lerner this question. I don't remember his answer. Are you personally more impressed by saltwater or freshwater, fishing wise?
What do you mean impressed? Do you know what are you talking?
Like, which one do you consider harder?
Oh, I think saltwater is harder because of the influence of like tides, currents. It's way more than freshwater. Like you can't, like the day is different based on the tide. You know what I mean? And the tide in a lake, it is what it is. Like, so you can fish early morning, whatever. And that affects saltwater too, but there are more effects in saltwater than there are in freshwater. And also, like a fish, just because it's so big, a fish can move. Tuna fishing, for example, if you're a tuna fisherman, that's why like having good info is so important in tuna fishing. Like tuna can be gone, 70 miles away in one day, right? It changes so much.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. It's hard to argue that aspect of it. Right, just the variables alone. But the only thing I will say, and I don't know what you think about this, is in the I'm trying to figure out how to word this. In the sense of like, let's say you're going fishing and you only have lures. Let's just say you only have lures. You're going fishing. It's harder to get, in my opinion, it's harder to get a freshwater fish to bite, generally speaking. Just because of the pressure in a lot of our lakes, we got a lot of small water bodies than it would be to get a saltwater fish to bite. Now that's taking out. That's
true because the freshwater fish just sees more lures than the saltwater. Right. Saltwater fish, you might not see a lure its entire life. Right. You know what I mean?
So I guess my point would be, because if I'm asked this question. Obviously not talking about like tuna fishing and stuff like that, but like just general saltwater fishing that guys do like inshore, stripers, fluke, sea bass, blackfish, just the general stuff that the robots fish for. That stuff, those fish are more willing to bite, generally speaking, than a freshwater fish, typically, just from the pressure, I guess is my point. So when I'm asked that question, I usually pick freshwater fishing just for that reason. But I kind of ignore all the variables, but only because if you have the knowledge that you have for all the time saltwater fishing, those variables aren't as much of a negative, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because you can look at them and say, oh, okay, this and that is happening. So historically, for my information, I'm going to go here and fish for this or use this or that. And you kind of can cut that back. But I guess you could say that about anything.
I mean, once again, I think you could say it about anything. The variables, I mean, let's just take my favorite species in the world, striped bass, for example, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you take that.
I was going to ask that too. That is your number one fish.
100%. Only because, once again, it goes back. Everybody has their own thing in life, right? So if you go back when I was a kid, I grew up on the Jersey Shore and I fished every day. And that's when the striped bass had disappeared, right? And they put a moratorium on striped bass. Like literally, I surf fished every day. I mean, yeah, I was 10 years old, but I knew what I was doing. I wasn't like totally clueless. And I would catch 4 or 5 striped bass in a year. And I fished every day off the beach. So you fell in love with this fish because they didn't exist. So when they came back, you never want to see it go back to the way it was, right? You never want to see this disaster go back. So like, that's why the infatuation with the striped bass exists for me, right? Everybody has their own thing. That's why. Okay. But if I go back to my comment, like if you go striped bass fishing in Raritan Bay in the springtime, okay, everybody catches because there's 80 bazillion getting ready to spawn up the Hudson. Got it. But if you take that season out of it, go catch a striped bass in August. Nobody even thinks they exist, but I guarantee you every day I can catch a striped bass. Guarantee it. And I can guarantee you I can catch a 20-pound striped bass. But that's because it's very specific to the tide, a rock pile, the tide on the rock pile, the rock pile, the rock on the rock pile, right? Those things are 30 years of doing it on that rock pile. You know what I mean? And that is way more specific than any lake, because of the tide thing cuts your day down by hours.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Does that make it more difficult or just more annoying though?
I think it takes more knowledge, more experience to do it in the tough times, not in the easy times, in the tough times. In the easy times, I would probably agree with what you said before. Like if you can't catch a striped bass in May in Raritan Bay, you should probably put down the rod and walk away, right? Push it over, go home. Same thing. Like if you can't catch a fluke in July in the ocean, right? Like just put the rod down, walk away. Don't get excited that you caught a big fluke. Like, okay, that doesn't.
All right. I'm just playing devil's advocate again.
Yeah.
I don't totally disagree with you. My answer is usually freshwater, but you swayed me a little bit. But let me ask you this. So we caught 18 species in one day on the Thailand saltwater fishing during like the prime of the season to fish for numbers of species, right? If you tried to catch as many freshwater species as possible in the same fashion, the only difference being obviously you'd go to different bodies of water. How many do you think you could get? Could you get 18?
I think 100%.
I was just going to ask this question.
I want to get Andrew Still if he's on here. He
ain't
challenged.
He cowered it out.
I guarantee he said something about it. And
he did.
For example, I just sat there and in 2 days, so I fish every day.
Oh, boy.
But we'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 14 species in the last 2 days freshwater fishing without going to a bunch of lakes.
Come on, without trying.
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, no. Like I didn't say I'm going to go catch a bunch of species. I fished 3 bodies of water for specific species. I caught other species because of what I did, because what bait I'm using and what I'm trying to do. And I caught 14. So it's hard for me to believe like I couldn't get 18 if I tried. I couldn't get 20. Like once again, we've done the multi-species things a few times, right? A couple times last year, a few times this year. What was my goal? My goal was 20 in my brain, right? Like we didn't catch a few species that are relatively easier to catch. Now we caught a few unicorns, right?
Yeah.
But we also learned some things like you taught me, right? Your little micro fishing before. Thank God Jen Wong was a half an hour late.
That's a clue.
That is a clue. So
now wait, I do have to throw a comment in though, because I was going to say we did get the 18 and break the record using those 2 micro fish from the dock, but we actually now did break it. Even if you don't count those 2, it would still give us 16. So we broke it without even fishing from shore anyway.
Why are you trying to take away from my microfishing skills?
I'm not. I actually want it more. You were hogging worms, and no one would give me a worm.
The number 2 fish wasn't a microfish. And the night before, my buddy told me he caught a bunch in the back of the river we started. So like that was.
I've never seen that fish. I think it's.
That's because how many times have you been in? But you're not in that environment. You're not fishing in the back of the Shrewsbury or the Navasink. How many times have you ever fished back there in your life, right?
I've never even heard of one of those. I can't see anyone actually getting that one right.
Well, no, there's no one in the planet that's going to get that right. But that one did not shock me. The first one shouldn't have shocked me, but did. And once again, Chris impressed me and taught me something, which is why when you go fishing, every time you go, you learn something from somebody else. And that's what frustrates me so much about like freshwater guys or even saltwater guys. They go to Hawaii with their wives, right? And they go on a charter and they go on the charter and they come back. And I'm like, well, what did you apply from when you went? And they're like, what? We just went out blue marlin fishing. If you're a largemouth bass fishing, if you watch that guy's going to teach you something that you can use here. And that's every time like I go with somebody, I watch what they do. And if they do something different, it sticks in my head. and then I like try to apply that to the thing that I do the most of, and I think that's what over time has helped. This thing helps a little bit, this thing helps a little bit, and then all it does increase your percentage chances of catching, and in the end you catch 2 more fish a year by doing this, 2 more fish by this, but by the end of the year it's 100 extra fish, and it matters.
Right? Yeah, and
a lot of people in the chat are now calling for a multi-species trip. Mark Mercer from Tackle World says he loves the enthusiasm of seeing Chuck fish for anything, but a lot of people are commenting that now they would like to see a freshwater multi-species trip. That would actually be really interesting to see how many we could get in a day. It would be fun. I
think we should do a 24-hour. We're allowed to start at midnight. 24-hour fresh saltwater thing, and we go to 11:59. We fish 24 hours straight, and we see how many species we can catch, salt and fresh. We've got to decide how you get to the biggest number. How long do you spend in the salt? How long do you got to move to the fresh? How fast can you drive your effing car? How fast can you drive your effing boat? Right? All that matters, and you figure out how to do that in 24 hours. I bet you we can break. I'm going to say I bet you we can break 40 species in 24 hours.
Let me ask you a serious question. If that challenge was put on the table to you, what season would be your first choice to do it in? Would it be the fall?
I would probably go with the saltwater best season, which would be like, end of August, early September. And then I would try to pick off the freshwater species.
Yeah,
that's a shittier time of the year for freshwater, though.
See, I disagree.
I think it's a shittier time for some of your more popular species. I don't think it's a shittier time for multi-species.
I don't even think the species. I think it's not a popular time for what people generally consider the popular tactics for the species. I disagree completely. I think it's a great time. I mean, beside the fact that you'd have to be very careful if you want to release things like trout and muskie and stuff like that, you'd have to take extra care about that.
Once again, if you decided to do that, you'd have to pick the cool day, 6 a.m., right first light. We're going to go catch a brown trout and let it go instantly, right? And you're going to take a picture of it in the water, and we're done.
Yeah,
and then we're moving on to the next place. You'd be that quick,
Yeah. Other than that,
which would take 30 seconds. By the way, we would get that one done.
Yeah. Other than that, I totally disagree that it's. I mean, the only person that thinks summertime is bad fishing is Max.
Max,
who, like he hibernates in the summer. He literally hibernates in the summer. It's like the first bear.
Yeah, not exactly the summer. I think like that transitional period sucks the most. I would love to do the freshwater thing. Road trips with Chuck is the best. I just don't like how he never lets us pay for anything or buy him stuff. He's way too nice to us. It makes me feel bad.
That's just who I am, buddy. So
he feels bad for us, and he's taken us under his wing as pity. But we've learned a lot from him. A lot of amazing shit.
I said this the other day, and I meant it. Like, even when the fishing is tough, fishing with Chuck is still fun, and it has something to do with just like he brings this hope with him. Like, he has this aura of hope that it still could happen. Like, you could be fishing all day.
And most of the time it does happen.
If
you fish hard, if you really suffer for the fish, if you live by this, well, you don't even have the effing logo on your back.
It's on the board.
It's on the board. Okay, well, it ain't on your damn.
That's my board.
So if you truly believe that and really fish hard and not give up, like my problem is when it sucks, I fish longer. That's my problem. It's like when I don't catch the fish I'm targeting, like
what do I do? You ever seen me quit?
No. Well, you're ridiculous.
Katie Lynn says summer sucks. John Dorn is here. Hello, John Dorn. He said, "Holy shit." Mark Mercer said, "Where's Katie?" Katie's in the chat. I saw her say something already. So she's here too. Katie and Logan are watching.
Katie's watching a monitor right now. Hold on. Logan doesn't hear us. We don't wake him up.
Get this, right? So when Chuck comes in my house and says hi to my kid.
Man, poor Logan.
Alex is here.
Oh, nice. About time.
I thought he had us blocked because I couldn't tag him in the multi-species post, which he obviously was on and helped us.
No, he's here. Alex is here. Hello, Alex. Alex was on the boat for the multi-species. You'll see him. He's here.
Again, as I gave him a shout out before, he's kind of the one that got me doing it because.
Well, he missed it. That was an hour ago. Yeah. He's here now, though. John Dorn's here an hour late. What's up, guys? An hour late.
I don't need to know whenever someone comes into the show.
All right, well, you got to say some shout-outs. I have to really quick annoy you even more. Chuck, do you know what you could do if your boat breaks down? You can call 8-Ball Sportfishing out of Point Pleasant because he is
good. I heard he was good. I have not experienced that yet, but you told me that Jerry said he was good. If Jerry said he was good, if he's
blessed by Jerry, he's be blessed by anyone.
Man.
8-Ball Sportfishing, extreme flexibility, though. Sea bass season is coming. Captain Dom loves to chase sea bass. Also, striper fishing in the Point Pleasant area. Like Chuck is getting ready to striper fish his area up here in Raritan Bay. Captain Dom's getting ready with his mini rods in Point Pleasant. So call 8-Ball Sportfishing Point Pleasant for your next 6-pack charter trip. Also, as always, NJFishing.com. Jerry Zagorski, the #1 resource in New Jersey for the past 28 years.
I used to be religious I used to be religious on that site.
And I wanted to touch on it.
What was your screen name?
What
was your screen name on that?
Man,
I wanted to touch on this real quick because
hold on. Can I finish my story?
No.
What was your story? I don't even remember.
So when Chuck came into my house today,
oh no, we don't need this story.
He sees Logan running around in his walker there, and Logan looks up because someone comes in, and the guy comes in, starts making baby noise. Hello, no.
Being nice. I'm trying to be quiet.
Now keep in mind. I just want to say, Katie brought Logan to the veterans event, the RVTA veterans event, where there was hundreds of people there. All strangers. Oh, people are saying hi to him. All this. He's laughing, smiling, like waving his arms around, all happy. As soon as he saw Chuck and Chuck started making baby noises and tried to say hi to him,
man, the lips came out.
The lips started quivering. He started crying, dude.
Man. I mean, look at this face. I mean, my wife screams when she sees his face. So yes, that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all.
So I just did want to mention real quick during that commercial for NJFishing.com. Not going to go into specifics, but obviously there's been a lot of negative shit going on social media lately. I notice a lot of people do need a break from social media, and they are taking one. NJFishing.com is the perfect place for that. If you're looking to just go back to a forum that strictly talks about New Jersey fishing, and not have to worry about seeing all the other shit that social media puts in, NJFishing.com is the perfect place for that and still runs as it did when it started. So check that website out if you've had enough social media.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it is a nice break. You could just go on NJF for 2 weeks and not miss anything and just take a break from this shit that we're all being exposed to every day. Chuck, I have to just say thank you to you. My last question that I have to ask. Because I know
I got one more.
Well, okay. Well, this is my last one.
Okay.
Because I know that there's always going to be a chance. I know the freshwater one's coming. I could see your eyeballs thinking about it already.
I've thought of that one for the last year. I've wanted.
Well, guess what? Now it's happening now. It's not a thought now. But my question is, if we do go back again now to chase the 18 to make another video, what is your expectation going to be in the number? Do you think you can break 20?
Once again, I guess it's like going back to your positivity thing. Like I thought 20 was my goal when we left the other day, right?
See, the first time that we
18, we weren't at 18 in my mind. Right? We thought we were at 17, but whatever. When we were at the final number, didn't I just go back and do a friggin' harbor and sit in a harbor for like another hour and a half trying to catch that one species that I couldn't believe we didn't catch, right?
Oh, yeah.
Still didn't catch it. So, there was 19 and we should have caught it and we didn't, right? And I could have went to another rock pile and dropped down and caught a couple big things that almost killed Jen Wong about a month ago. We could have probably had a good shot at those. And I could have ran back to the Raritan if I wanted to blow 2 hours and try to get one of those. So that
Let me explain what you're talking about, because there's a bunch of people here that might not know. On our page, Chuck Manny broke the single day boat record for most species, 18 fish. The picture gives away 5 or 6 of them. The person that posts the most species correct wins a hat. So a bunch of people have entered already. Just go on that post and post your 18 species. Whoever has the most right is going to get a hat sent to them. If there's a tie, whoever posted it first is going to win the tie. And that's how it's working. So it is fun. And I have seen a couple people make really, really good guesses so far. Real good ones.
And yeah, I was going to say someone, I forget who it was. I don't know.
Katie Lynn said, I hope a pufferfish was involved. So do I. Also, the big announcement, Andrew Still has now arrived in the chat and announced himself.
It's almost over. But listen, so I just want to, I forget who it was, so I don't want to try to guess like names, but someone guessed 16 correct out of the 18. And
what?
They guessed
no.
6. Yes.
On what outlet? On Facebook?
What do you mean? That's the only.
Oh, it's not on Instagram. I'm sorry.
No. Well, one of them I think you're wrong, because I think he spelt it wrong. Those are 2 different species. But I'm just saying.
No, I thought I did.
Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, I didn't count that one as right.
Really?
Wow.
1, 2.
I'm impressed.
That's not the person. I said it underneath. So
are they getting that close with this contest?
But
wow, I'm shocked.
Here's the thing.
You said it right there.
I've gone underneath. Am I right?
Yes.
It was Jason Uhas. He only missed 2, and Chuck confirms that is correct. And I've been commenting underneath the posts and saying, not all of them, but on some of them, when I have the time and I see it, I say, oh, you missed it by 4 or 5 or whatever it is. Jason Uhas only missed it by 2.
I think he only got 15. I think he's 3 off.
Which one?
Because that one's wrong.
Yeah.
That one's wrong.
Right.
Which I chased
That's 2.
all day.
Oh no, it is 3.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, sorry, I miscounted.
He got 15.
He's off by 3.
Which is once again unbelievable.
Unbelievable. He's winning.
Sure.
No one's beating him.
I'm not saying which 3, so really you still got to put all the clues together and stuff. And here's the last clue. Nobody, or we kind of mentioned this, nobody has guessed the 2 species that I caught right off the bat while we were waiting for Jen Wong, who's always late.
So we'll give a hint and say those 2 species were caught off a dock with a micro jig. We'll give that
one of them
away.
Though. I would not. You would easily catch without microfish.
But I caught a micro version of it.
You did catch a micro version, and then Joe caught a real version of it that we then live lined, and it got smashed. But Joe missed the fish.
What?
Yes, it got.
What kind?
Did you use that bait or no?
What are you talking about?
So
what fish?
Don't say it.
When we live line that on a rock pile, that's an obvious one because you're fishing.
I didn't even get a hit.
Oh, okay. Well, so then maybe it was Alex. Maybe Alex will chime in. He used that bait, and that bait got hit immediately when it got thrown into that rock pile, just so we know.
But what does that have to do with me? I don't understand.
Because you caught it. So I said you caught it, and then you live lined it. That's the only reason I used your name. You caught it off the dock.
Oh, okay.
You caught it while waiting. You caught one big enough to use as a bait.
I was confused. Okay.
Stick with me, buddy. Come on.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
The video, as I said, the Chuck Manny video is ready to be out tomorrow or the day after.
Am I going to see it ever?
It's taken me a lot of work. It is done. I am going to finish tonight. I have to run the descriptions, and it's done.
Not on YouTube.
It's done.
There's still a lot of people in here. I mean, do you guys want me to end this, or do you still want to talk to Chuck? Now, Jason, Uhas is here. Matt Lloyd.
I'll stay here.
Hold on.
This is way past my bedtime.
If anyone,
oh my God, I can't look at it without cracking up. It's unbelievable.
So here, let's do it like this. I've got one more thing I want to ask Chuck. If anyone's in here new, think about anything you want to ask him to. As soon as I'm done with my question, we're done talking about it. we're only going to go with anything that anyone else wants to talk about that's in the room right now. Otherwise, the show's over. So if you're listening right now live, come up with something to keep the conversation going, or else that's it. We're leaving, and we're putting Chuck to bed.
Jason Yuha, shout out. Grab a beer, John Dorn. All right, go ahead, Chris. Ask your question. You heard Chris's rules of the game. You have until the end of Chris's question to ask a good question, or the show ends. We cut it.
Here's what I want to know. Okay, so Chuck's winning the multi-species contest, and some people have said it's only because he gets to fish all the time because he's retired, and that's why he's winning. And I see he's shaking his head. I don't want to rile you up too much, but
you can get okay. Finish your question because I'm about to blow up now.
I agree with those people. By the way, I'm one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
then you woke up.
I don't agree, but I kind of just wanted to ruffle Chuck's feathers and then let him loose on the show. So that's really the question.
You know what? You can give me 30 days, and we'll start at 0. And I will win that contest. I don't care what you say. You give me 30 days. And just so there's somebody in this that's a commenter here that during the beginning of this tournament said there in the comment section said there's no chance of somebody ever winning this from the shore. I don't know who said that.
Wow.
Let me finish.
Wait, did someone really say that? I'm unaware of that comment until right now.
I said
it was him.
Said that, but I'll just comment that if you just take my fish caught from shore, so all you boat people out there that are way back, there's 18 points on mine just from shore, which would be, if you take me out of it, would be in second only to this guy, but awfully close to this guy. From shore, forget anything I caught in a boat. So just a comment that person that thinks that you can't win it from shore, you can definitely win it from shore.
But I mean, you just said you.
Matty Loisel says never talk shit to the goat. He learned the hard way.
You also didn't calculate.
I actually have a good question here.
My boat that I could have potentially
100%.
So you got to add my score up.
No, because that's from a boat. No, because that you would have had somebody else on the boat. I let you reel in every fish except for one, and I still caught the right fish.
You should have let me reel in that sheepshead.
I literally spent the entire day and let him reel in every fish.
You should have let me reel in the sheepshead.
I was like, I'm not touching the rod. You catch them all. And then one time he felt bad. He's like, no, you get the next one. I get it. And it's the biggest one of the day.
That's just luck at that point.
We did get a good nautical question here from another captain. Ken Lazurchek, our main man, Ken. He wants to know, Chuck, how many miles do you think you traveled to break the 18, to get to the 18?
Oh, not that many. I mean,
not as much as you'd think.
Not as much as you'd think. So, I mean, since he knows kind of the waterways, right? You know, so you're starting, my boat's in Highlands on the Shrewsbury River, right? At Gateway Marina by Bars. So somebody will know where that is. So we start in that river. So you start, 75 feet or 1,000 feet from my boat, right? Okay. 100 yards from my boat. That's where we start. Then you're going out into Raritan Bay, but it's a straight line in Raritan Bay. We're not going back into Raritan Bay.
Yeah.
Then you draw a straight line to approximately, the farthest we got offshore is approximately 8 miles, and then turn around and back, and that's it. So it's really, it really isn't like I'm not running down to Point Pleasant or off Shark River, or it's all within a relatively close distance, but all of those are micro environments. When you look at the ocean,
Yeah, no, I would say I think Ken is interested in the multi-species. I think him and Jason have gone out a couple times and see how many they could get. And I think Chuck will agree with this. My advice to him would be to not worry about how far he travels. Like Chuck just said, like I've traveled further just to go fluke fishing with sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's not going to be your problem, and you don't have to worry about how far you're going to travel. I would say, and I don't know if Chuck agrees, I'd say the most important thing is to bring a lot of different types of bait.
I mean, yeah, I mean, in the end, right? I'm before we go, there's a lot of preparation to say, I'm going to hit this spot, what's on each spot, and what's the best bait for that spot. Like, I'll fish a sandworm in every spot, right? Just because maybe I'll get something else.
But that's because we are doing other things.
Right, but I know that you're going to do the crab. I know that, right? Yeah. So I know as long as we don't all do the same thing, except for when we start fishing for the one species that Jen and Joe could not stop fishing for, as long as we fish for all different species, you're going to catch. Like, if you go out there and you both fish are doing the same exact thing, you're not going to catch a bunch of different species, right? And you need to understand the microenvironment of where all those different species live and focus on where are the closest of those spots to hit, because you don't have that much time. You can't waste the time. Yeah. You can't waste the time driving 20 miles.
No. And it's, yeah, that's all wasted time. And it's like anything else too.
I mean, we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots.
Yeah.
Five spots. That's it. To get to 18.
And the furthest one was, like you said, about 8 miles or whatever.
8 miles.
And I will say,
that's actually a really Andrew Still's question to Chuck. Which is the better bait overall, sandworms in saltwater or nightcrawlers in freshwater? That's a good question.
Oh boy, Andrew. Wow. Man.
How would you even answer that question? Would it just be as simple as, like, which one can catch?
Chuck, do you actually like sandworms more than eels?
Yeah, like, it's funny that people always tie me to an eel when I fish more with other baits than I do an eel, right? I fish with the eel for certain things, but that's not, I mean, I really don't.
Most of your fishing is hunting giant striped bass, and you're almost always using eels for them.
Yeah, no, but I didn't. That's a relatively new thing. Like, I would always, if for example, like, if I was with different people, like, you saw me throw the cast net one time in your life, right? Like, throw a cast. Like, I used to, if I had 2 or 3 people that one could drive my boat and then throw the cast net, I would be going to get bunker almost every time and then using bunker. When I fish with certain people, it's the eels. I don't have the stress of me having to go drive the boat while I'm driving the boat, throw the net, try not to get in the engine, get the bunker, right? That's a lot by yourself. So instead of that stuff, it's just easier to use the eels, and the eels do catch the biggest striped bass. Like, so, like, why don't I just go do that? Does that make sense? That's
You didn't answer his question.
You didn't answer your question.
Oh, which one?
Nightcrawler.
I'm sorry. See, I'm old. I don't even know what I'm talking
You're
about.
Not as old as him.
Anyway, I to be honest with you, I'd go sandworm and salt over a 90 and fresh.
So if someone said to you, like a wizard came up to you and he was going to cast a curse on you, and he said, I'm going to cast a curse. You're either never, ever going to be able to use one of these 2 baits ever again in your life, ever.
Dude, the power of the 90 would be gone. Oh, my God.
One or the other. So you got to choose. You get to choose, but I'm cursing you. You can never touch a sandworm or a nightcrawler or any kind of earthworm. You can't touch an earthworm. You can't
even like a wiggler, like you get under the little grass that goes.
No, crazy. I think you have to lump them together, or else you're going to think in your head, I won't use a nightcrawler. I'll use a big red wiggler. No earthworms or no sandworm, and that includes lugworms. No any kind of that worm with the little fucking things that come out and bite you. You can't use any of those, or you can't use any earthworms.
I would prefer to use the sandworms and salt over because the thing is, sandworms and salt, you still catch, like, the mean, like, critters. Like, I can still catch a bluefish on a sandworm. Obviously, striped bass love sandworms. You're not catching a muskie or a pike on a nightcrawler very often. That would be very rare.
I've seen it.
I've seen it too. I've caught a pike on a nightcrawler. Never caught a muskie on it, but I've caught a pike on. But that's very rare. So, like, whereas there's a good chance I'm catching a bluefish every day if I just sat there and fished sandworms, even though I'm way better off using a peanut bunker or a bunker or, you know what I mean? But I still would potentially catch. I mean, I think even Alex caught, Alex caught one of those fish on a fake sandworm.
Right. Yeah, he did. Was it totally just the fake sandworm or did he also tip it?
No, I think it was just the fake sandworm.
And can I just add also, there was another species that I had to catch on a piece of clam that didn't ever hit. Like that was the only one that hit. Oh, no, there was another one. Did Gen Wong catch? It's in the picture, so I think most people guessed it already. A porgy. Did Gen Wong catch a porgy too? Someone else caught a porgy.
Yeah, we caught a
me.
Yeah, we caught a porgy.
What were you using?
Clam. That was the biggest porgy I ever caught my whole life.
And we caught one in the ocean when we were coming back too.
On a sandworm?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I just wanted to add that in.
We caught one when I was trying for another species that we should have caught that I can't believe we didn't catch, drifting in the fluke area. And we did catch that. I thought you caught it, all
right. There's a ton of people still on here. They're still coming on. Like it starts at 7, and like it's over, Dave. Like you're late. He said, "Can you guys start the show?"
What Pop has to say.
Dave wants to know if we could start the podcast over because he just woke up.
Hey, Dave, if Dave is on. Hey, Dave, thanks. Well, thanks to you and Eric and a little bit of Laura Yates, whatever. I got my first land-based flathead
Kevin Glenn
at First Light. Bingo.
Did you not?
Kevin Glenn, Sean Anderson. Andrew still wants to know, does Chuck have pajamas to sleep at Chris's house? More people continue to come in.
Andrew, I wasn't invited. We
unfortunately have to say goodbye to Chuck because we're out of time, and Monday Night Football is going on, even though we don't care.
You told me 2 hours.
Deuce is going to scream at us soon. Jen Wong is telling Dave Law to go back to bed. The chat room's a zoo. I wish we had this on Chris's Street. It's an absolute zoo.
I can't see anything.
No,
it's a zoo. You don't want to see it. We're going to
see it. And I do think it's interesting that
if your wife, Katie, is watching this, Katie, please get him on a separate device. I have an iPad next to me watching the thread. Give him something. Let him see the circus.
My phone. I got it right now.
Yeah, he could look it up. I don't want to see it.
Right now, it has 151 comments right now.
Because you're interrupting enough with just, so-and-so came in the room. Oh, there's someone else.
There's no other questions?
What is the point? Well, it has to be like a good question.
Why are you the god of the question saying it's a good question?
You don't have a screen. You don't even have a phone. You had to drive to someone's house. This is a historical moment for this podcast where someone had to drive to a host's house to be recorded.
He lives 5 minutes from me. That we didn't know that, but over time we figured that out.
Let me just say something. This is not an open invite for like any future guest to invite themselves to my house. Like Chuck can do whatever he wants. I love Chuck. There may be guests in the future that I will allow to come here and do this. I just don't want like future guests to think that they can come into my basement and hide in the corner until Joe invites them on the show and come sit next to me. I don't want it to become a thing.
Well, how often do people want me to read the comments? Dave Voss said, I don't know what happened, but when Chuck started talking about me, the whole damn computer exploded, and now Chuck's face is frozen here. Chuck, we have to unfortunately say goodbye to you. Katie is here. She can't give Chris anything. He has ADD, can't multitask. Thank you, Katie. Chuck, we have to say goodbye to you. As I was saying, we could never thank you enough for all you've done for us and all you do for us continuously. Yeah. And what you do for our Mayhem contest is we can never repay you, and all the fishing could just never thank you enough. Taking all the time to come on here. I don't know what to say. We love you. You're the GOAT. Many people in the room tonight have called you the GOAT in the room too. The greatest of all time. I've never heard anyone else called that before in fishing. It's unbelievable, and everyone loves you. That's all I have to say.
Okay, love you guys too. Okay, let's not make it too weird.
Yeah.
Let's not get weird.
You got kind of weird.
Jen Wong added he's loving Chuck. So there's like a lot of love thing going on now.
No, but in all seriousness, like you're the man. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not.
It's even weirder for Chris because you're in the same room as him.
Right.
So you don't want it to get
tell
weird.
Everybody to go fishing, man. Stop like in the Mayhem Contest. Stop worrying about how much I'm fishing and goddamn go fishing. Holy crap.
Well, let me add this just in.
We ended it. The show was done. Here we go.
No, it's not.
Deuce is going to yell soon. He's going to Deuce.
You said that this wasn't going to work because of Monday Night Football. And the longer we go and Monday Night Football,
you are right.
People just keep coming in. So we're going to keep.
Well, it's like a cycle. I think some people shift out and then new people have come in, like Kevin Glenn. Where was he?
They got bored to death and then they left.
What could Kevin Glenn have possibly been doing from 7 to 8 that he wasn't here? Now he wants me to promote the Mayhem Contest.
No.
He doesn't know that I already did that.
Kevin Glenn got yelled at by his wife and had to go wash the dishes or something, and then he finished, so he was allowed to come back on and get 30 more minutes of screen time. Like he's like a child. I love that guy.
He's all right. He DQ'd me a lot, but I still love him.
He's all right. But I just want, in Chuck's defense, with the whole, people claiming that he's only winning because he can fish so much.
That was the game. That was the what the.
What I want to know here, I'm calling people out. I want to make this contest more exciting for the rest of it, for the fall season.
All right, everyone in this chat room, listen to what Chris is about to say, please.
Anyone who thinks that Chuck is only winning because he fishes so much, how does that explain why I'm in second? I have a new kid. I work. I do all kinds of crap. I'm not fishing that much. I mean, I fish, but anyone else in the contest could easily match or come close to matching the amount of time that I fish. No?
I'm tied in third with Bob Darling, and I live in Bergen County.
And I know
I definitely fish way.
I'm sure Bob Darling has a job. So what excuse could all the other people have that are below all of them for not doing better?
I mean, once again, I get 2 hours. I go to a pond near me. Well, some of the fish on that list that I have that are still on the board, I caught in a pond a mile from my house. So somebody says, oh, I can't go because they can't take their boat. I can't get my boat to Round Valley or Spruce Run or Hopatcong. You don't need to do that. That's your decision. Or you don't know the waters right around your house well enough to go catch something else. And once again, that's a great thing about Mayhem. I ain't ripping on them. I'm telling that's the fun part of fishing is you look I sit there on Google Maps and I found these little lakes and ponds and stuff and I go fish. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And now I have all of those. And that's what somebody should do. And you learn a lot and it's so much fun. It is fun. More fun.
I agree.
Don't stick to one place. Don't stick.
And I know what you're talking about. I've said for years that I'm going to go to South Jersey and fish for snakeheads. I've said it all the time. Never have done it. The Mayhem Contest finally made me do it. And went down, fished with the Kennedys. That was awesome. We went to fish with them also for white crappie, which that wasn't during the contest, but we did it anyway. And I drove an hour to West Jersey to fish for a freaking bullhead. I mean, who would do that without the contest? So I agree with Chuck.
Why would you say that? What's wrong with a bullhead? Why is that different than a ding-dong largemouth bass? That's somebody's opinion.
I agree. Yeah, you're kind of right. But I wouldn't right. No, I would. I have spots around my house that I could bass fish. I wouldn't normally drive an hour for a bullhead, but for the contest, it makes it put a target bounty on the fish and forces you to do it. And I remember you saying when the contest first launched that your goal was to basically catch one of every species on the board.
I'm still too short.
And which 2 species are you short?
Tiger muskie and landlocked salmon.
Dave says Chris is a cheater because Katie and his son are fishing with him.
What?
Hey.
No.
Apparently, Katie and Logan are catching
landlocked
most of it.
salmon and tiger muskie are the two that I'm still chasing.
Now, you have to get on the board with the fish. You just have to catch it.
No, I just
one.
have to catch one.
He said that.
How has he not caught a salmon? We didn't get him a salmon?
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
People on here that said, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll get you a salmon."
I'm still saying that. I'm just saying that.
That one day you blew me off. My kids caught like 9 salmon that day. Oh.
I don't know when I blew you off.
The fishery seems to have changed, like we talked about before. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not right. It started off at the beginning. The first time I went out there, I said, "Wow, this is going to be a really good season." And then from that moment on, it sucked. The next big giant fish we caught that we thought was a salmon turned out to be a rainbow trout. Was not even a salmon.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll get you. We'll take another shot though.
I'm not worried.
It doesn't matter. Still fighting for.
I'm still saying the one that you have to use a kayak in is the place we should be at, but no one's listening to me. But that's
I'm fine with that. I've never been in a kayak in my life, but let's go.
I have to.
That would mean that you would have to take a day, take your kayaks, and bring me.
I'll do it.
I've heard this story for the whole summer.
When I was taking him,
Harry Brown says Chuck Aeroflex for landlock on the hard water. He'll take you.
On the see, the problem is I need it before December because he
needs it before December. Harry,
listen,
you're too late. Next year you're in.
Listen, I got one in the. You guys got me one on the ice. Remember?
Yeah, I got you one. Joe wasn't. Yes, listen, so
I was there. What do you mean?
Well, you were there. What did you do to help?
I didn't help, but I caught one too, like 5 feet away.
His aura helped us catch.
Chuck, there is always more species caught when I'm around. You can't deny that.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like striper fishing, the pulls on the line are different because of my arm length, and it causes a reaction, causes bigger fish to be caught.
What? He believes that in his head, I bet, too.
Could be true.
I really do.
That's why I say my pull is 3 feet, so you can calculate your own pulls by your arm length.
If Chuck says it 10 arm pulls, that's like 30 for me.
Let me finish my
Everybody's
statement.
left. Everybody.
When I was
the room, there was never anyone in here anyway. I was talking to myself the whole time, just pretending people are here. It's not even live. Deuce doesn't even record these. It's just us three.
Can I finish my statement?
You may.
I want to make a statement in defense of myself because I was the one trying to get Chuck a salmon for those couple of trips. Okay. One, he caught a shit ton of other big fish, and I sacrificed points to Chuck trying to get him that salmon, that fish that I could have caught that would have helped me. But the second point, the most important point, is we were trying to get a giant salmon.
Yes, we're not trying to catch a salmon.
You're not going to do that as consistently the way that most people catch a lot of salmon. You're just not. I mean, you could play the numbers game like anything, right? You could, your tactic, your strategy.
Same thing.
Yeah. Your strategy could be, well, I know how to catch this species. I'm going to catch as many as possible and hope one of them's big. And that's a strategy that works.
Yes.
Sometimes. We had a different strategy. My strategy was different. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it. But we were trying to catch a giant salmon. It didn't work like it's been working the last couple of years. Okay, it caught a bunch of other stuff. But if we abandoned that strategy and just tried to catch a salmon, 100% we could do it, no problem. But we didn't do that yet. But I'm willing to do that in the fall. If Chuck wants to abandon the hunt for a giant salmon, we can go catch a regular.
But once we get to October, the hunt for a giant striper is on. So, like, once I get to there's a reason why I'm trying to build a lead over people, because I know once I get to October, I'm bass fishing. And going back to your point, the reason people are like, oh, well, I catch some big striped bass in Raritan Bay or whatever. They catch hundreds of fish to catch one big one. What I do is I target the big ones, and that's it. So those are two different types of fishing. Exactly what you're saying you do for salmon, and that's exactly what happens. And sometimes there's a price you pay for doing that. But
all right, you guys have to listen. You guys both have. I love Chuck, love everyone except Chris. We have to wrap this up. It's ridiculously late. Deuce fell asleep. I could hear him snoring on the background. I'm going to close up some of these chat. John Doran is complaining that I have T-Rex arms in the video of the lost bass. Everyone can see that.
Bass his head out of the water.
Thank you, Chuck.
You cannot. Wow. If you take a fish's head out of the water, first.
Wow.
Don't let the head come out of the water, period, end of story. And it didn't even jump out of the water. It was him trying to get it to the net that it came out. That was your problem. Sorry.
And since when did
that? Can't wait for October when we go bass fishing.
When do they even need a net? Like all the guys on TV don't have nets. They just rip the fish right in.
Yeah, that shit's the most ridiculous shit. Oh my! I can't believe people love that. You ever watch that? It's like the ridiculous.
But
ridiculous.
I gotta say, I agree. I'm sorry, John, but I do also think it was your fault. But I will say, if Joe had normal sized arms, he could have gotten that.
It's always
maybe he could have had a net with a longer pole.
Friggin' 12-foot.
Katie McGrath said this is the most best entertainment on television. Dave Voss says, pretty bad you can't catch a landlock the year after you threw the state record in the garbage can.
Excellent. Right there. That's the best point of the whole night. Dave, you should send him a freaking hat because that was amazing that he's totally right. He's totally right. And Pop agrees with Dave Aw. Okay?
And that helps my point out. That's what I was trying to do.
Something's going on with Tim Brennan. No one can find him.
We killed the fish. We killed the state record, and the salmon gods are punishing me for killing a fish. That's it, because I'm not supposed to do that.
I mean,
it's my fault.
It was an accident.
Well, I don't think it wasn't releasable, correct?
What?
It was on. Most of those are not releasable successfully.
Unfortunately.
It's just an eagle video. That's as soon as I catch one, I get my camcorder ready for the eagle to eat it.
Think about the rainbow you caught. I would have thought that wouldn't have been released. If you didn't film that release, nobody would believe you successfully released that giant rainbow we measured it, took a picture of it, and released it quick enough in the summertime, and that thing swam away like strong and fairly quickly. I don't have really any doubt that fish survived. And you'll always have like the half PETA guys. If it swims away and then it sinks to the bottom and dies. Like, we're fishing. We're jamming a hook into a fish's mouth and catching it. And really, I mean, shit happens. But with the salmon, to your point, you're using light line. It was a long fight. It was summertime.
It was so cool. It was so cool.
We didn't.
That was Sheepshead like.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't even know what I was catching. Right. I'm not a salmon guy. I'm like, oh, that's a big one. And I'm like,
there you go. So now the NJ Multi-Species podcast has begun commenting in the chat, complaining about how long the episode is. It's not me. So it must be Deuce on a keyboard who is now complaining into the chat room. Apparently, folks, Deuce wants the show to be over. So that it has to be over. Kevin.
I mean, Deuce could be a little bit nice and just say, thank you, Chuck. Thanks for your time. And not.
Kevin said Joe practices catch and release deer hunting every year. Thank you, Kevin. That's going to be it for tonight. We will be back again. People are enjoying the live. We seem like we are going to stick to the live. Chuck, did you enjoy the live?
Yeah. Once again, I love talking to you guys. I love this stuff. So, is this actually going to end the show? Because I've said goodbye 4 times. So, then why don't I just say goodbye? We are going to be next week's guest.
Do you know how to end the show?
Hold on. Next week's guest is Phil Wildman, the outfitter that Chris went with for sturgeon with Dave Aw. Dave Aw, if you're watching, next week's episode is Phil Wildman Outdoors, and he will be on here live.
I didn't ask him if he was all right with the live yet, but
yeah, don't. We'll just throw him right into it. It's better that way.
Knowing Phil, a couple times I've fished with him, 100%.
Will he be doing it
Phil-
from your
Phil-
house, or
Yeah, Phil will be on. Suffer for the fish. See,
will Phil be doing it from Chris's
East.
bedroom also,
East.
or is he going to do it from his own
He
home?
lives on the other side of the country. Chuck's trying to end the show.
suffer for the fish. We're gone. Peace out. Okay, we're gone. Turn it off.
Is Deuce awake? Deuce, is the show over?
Good night, Harry.
He didn't.
Good night, Harry.
Just Deuce.
Greg, see you on the water, Chuck.
Chuck said
Greg
it's hot.
Fresh Tosh said, see you on the water, Chuck.
See you, man. All right.